So I'm going to start with this TOMASO Pantera, probably my favourite car here. Absolutely love these. Possibly the only 70s supercar I'd buy. This looks amazing in this blue. Brilliant condition. Apparently this featured in an episode of Breaking Bad. Look at this interior, it's just wonderful. Famous dogleg gated gearbox. Yeah, really lovely car. Of course these had the 5.75 Ford Cleveland V8. Sounded incredible as well as looking incredible. And the guide for the Pantera is 60 to 70,000. So this is the Volvo P1800S. Again famous from TV I suppose. Roger Moore used one of these in The Saint. Lovely car, absolutely beautiful design. I would love one of these. This is 1967, only 25,000 miles. It's had a 33-year recent ownership and £40,000 spent on it. Look at those dials, awesome. No reserve on this. I think they usually go in around the 30s, and this looks brilliant condition. 1.8 engine, 4-speed manual. So this is the Volvo. It looks like it's going incredibly cheap. Yeah, wow, that's a bargain. You do not see many Lamborghinis, or I don't, certainly at auction. This is a 2016 LP610 for SYPDER. Lovely looking thing. I'm not a huge Lambo fan, just not my taste. Particularly in white, but yeah, amazing cars. So obviously 610 denotes the horsepower, 610 horsepower with a 5.2 V10. Actually that I had pretty similar engine that I just said about in my Gen 1 Audi R8. Yeah, cool interior. These seats have taken a bit of a beating. They're not in great condition, probably won't come out in camera. I'm sure they could be cleaned, but yeah, it's not the best. It's got the carbon ceramic brakes and nose lift, which were expensive options on these. No reserve, incredible. These go for 110,000 plus, I think, so it could be a bargain for someone. 4200 GT. Again, you know, I've never been that keen on them, but you don't see many in the flesh. And I have to say, this looks much better in person. Yeah, quite nice. So this is kind of Ferrari-derived engine, 385 horsepower, which replaced the twin-turbo smaller engine, V8 engine in the 3200 GT. Nice interior here as well. This is really well cared for. It's got an excellent history. It's quite a rare manual as well, so I might actually bid on this, you know, active damping. Yeah, beautiful. Guide price is 8 to 10,000. This Maserati because I did bid on it and I've won it provisionally, so a bit of a surprise there. Didn't come to bid on this necessarily. In fact, I was more interested in the SYPDER, to be honest. But 4,500 was my bid. Guide price is 8 to 10,000. I think I'll be lucky to get that, but you never know. Could be a surprise purchase. So this E46 M3 is probably one of the pick of the cars outside, actually. 2003. These obviously had the S54 3.2 inline 6 engine, 340 horsepower. This one has been extremely well looked after. It's got an excellent service history that I've checked out. Convertible, comes with the hard top though, and yeah, it's superb. I can't really find any marks on it outside. Really excellent conditions. Wheels are perfect. This is a very nice car. It's actually no reserve as well, so this is something I could be interested in. You know, these start around 11,000 or so now. Yeah, interior is just as good. I mean, this is pretty exceptional actually to find one in such good condition these days. Importantly, a manual, of course, rather than the much maligned SMG gearbox. So here's the M3.
So do you want to go 750? At 11.5 there.
I only wanted it was going to be a proper bargain. So it looks like it's going for a fair price though.
Shaking the head and hold. Good news for you. Going once, going twice, third and last. 11,500.
So this is a 1958 190 SL. Again, right-hand drive with a hard top. Very few of these came as right-hand drive, I think, to the UK. This is a 1.9 litre inline 4 on carbs, about 100 horsepower, so quite a bit less powerful than the 250. Been in Australia for a long time, had a full bare metal respray a couple of years ago, and it is just in exceptional condition. Guided at 140 to 160,000. So this is the 190 SL coming. Doesn't look like it's going to make the reserve price, to be honest.
It may not surprise you, but we will leave that one there, I'm afraid, at that moment. We're going to move swiftly on.
I'm going to concentrate on this one because this is possibly my favourite car in this auction. It looks absolutely superb. This is the 1983 Aston Martin V8. Is obviously red interior, which I wouldn't normally go for, but I think looks amazing. Contrasts brilliantly with the black paintwork. It's got a rare dogleg ZF manual gearbox. I think only 15 of these in right-hand drive. 3 owners, incredible history, including a £45,000 engine rebuild to X-Pack specification. So this is now up to 5.7 litres, over 400 horsepower, different liners, pistons, cams, bigger carbs, manifold. It's also got stiffer suspension, gearbox rebuild, loads of internal work as well. As you can see, it's just exceptional condition. I absolutely love it. Not normally a massive fan of these. Well, I like them, but this one just looks superb, and the fact it's been so unmodified just really appeals to me. What a car. This is guided at 90 to 110,000 pounds. So here we are with the black Aston Martin V8. Looks like it's going to make around the £100,000 mark. A lucky new owner. So on to another all-time British classic Jaguar E-Type. This is a Series 1 coupe flat floor, which I think is the most desirable version of the E-Type. There are around 500 or so right-hand drives. 3.8 litre inline 6, making 285 horsepower. A lot for the time. This is, again, absolutely beautiful. These used to go for huge money. This is guided at 95 to 110,000 pounds. And here is that E-Type. It's struggling a bit. And the value of these does seem to have dropped quite a bit recently, actually. So here is the iconic Ferrari Testarossa. It's probably one of the ultimate poster pin-up cars, this. Instantly recognisable, a futuristic and fairly unique design, really. Pininfarina designed, of course. This one's 1991. It's in Rosso Corsa with the crema interior, so desirable colour combination. This one's been owned since 1991. It's had loads of servicing and recommissioning. Looks absolutely fantastic. Guided at 90 to 110,000 pounds. I've seen them go cheaper than this, but this is a really good example. Flat 12, 5 litre mid-engined, 390 horsepower, 5-speed manual, and these went at 181 miles an hour, so pretty nippy back then.
Jaguar XKR-S.
So here's the Testarossa. Making well above guide price. It is an excellent example.
At £120,000, goes twice. Third and last at £120,000. Sold to you.
So 1976 Mark II Escort RS2000. This has been obviously extensively modified, as you can see, as a kind of fast road or rally car. Different seats, steering wheel, gear stick, suspension. It's got a slip diff, different brakes and exhaust look. Yeah, so I don't know how this will appeal to people who often like them unadulterated. Obviously different wheels. It's also got a bored out engine, I believe. 2.1 litre now. I love it. Guided at 18 to 23,000. Here is the RS2000. Well, it's going to make over reserve, so it looks like I'm not the only one who likes this. So, awesome car, I absolutely love these. This is a 2004 SL65 AMG. Obviously the V12 bi-turbo in this. What an engine, 600 horsepower, crazy amount of torque, 1,000 newton meters, limited to 1,000 newton meters. And to see this 20 years ago when this came out, just incredible. Obviously this pretty similar engine was put in the Pagani Hyura, and I've had a very similar engine, so the M275 this is, in the 65s. AMG bought out the 5.5 to 6 litre. The 5.5 was in the Mercedes S600, which I have. So smooth, loads of power, so I love these.
70,000, the car is on sale.
Here is the SL65.
We are on sale at 70,000. Right.
Guided 82 to 92.
Anybody wish to go 71? On sale,
But it's
make no mistake.
going to make a bit lower than that by the looks of it.
Second time is 70,000. Third and last, it goes £70,000. Sold.
So this is definitely one of the best XKRs I've seen. So this is a 2005 XKR-S white badge, so one of the end of the line of the X100s. I think 200 of these made. Some kind of visual modifications, but also they had firmer springs and anti-roll bars. I think 10mm lower, quicker rack, upgraded brakes, 20-inch BBS wheels, and this frost blue metallic paintwork. Looks absolutely beautiful. Got a really good history, and look at this interior, it's lovely. I do love Jags from this era, I have to say. So I've got this engine, this is the 4.2 supercharged V8. I've got this engine in my XJ Super V8, same gearbox as well, I believe, ZF 6-speed I think. Lovely, so smooth and powerful, loads of torque. This looks lovely, only 24,000 miles. This is a lovely, like I say, one of the best I've probably ever seen of this generation. So Aston Martin DB7, I really like this. I think I'm going to bid on this. Really well looked after example. It does have some issues with some minor bubbling paintwork, etc. on the top of the door here. But it's got a box file full of receipts. It's polybushed, suspension upgrade, stainless steel, performance exhaust. It's had a remap. Loads of other paperwork too. It's in, decent but not amazing condition, I would say. So there's some marks. I don't know how well this will come out on the top of the dash. Discoloured leather, something's been stuck on here and left a mark, and you can see this wood on the dash isn't in great condition. But with a reserve of £8,000 to £10,000, I think that's still good value. Sounds brilliant. Yeah, I've ducked out at about 7-8 on this. I really like it, but I think the problem for me is it's a car I'd keep for 6 months to a year and want to sell on, and I think it needs to be really very good condition to be able to sell on. I think this one will struggle, even though it's well looked after. They're probably quite a hard car to shift, I think. So that's gone for nearly £9,000 with fees. I think that's excellent value for a DB7 still. So the iconic Sierra RS Cosworth, I absolutely adore these, as do a lot of people. Grew up watching Malcolm Wilson rally these. This one's had an engine fire. It's in pretty bad condition. I don't think it's been used for about 25 years. So it's kind of barn find condition with an added bonus of engine bay fire. So I expect this is reserve 18 to 24,000. I expect someone will still buy this to restore it.
I'll take it 500. The exact same.
So you're joining me, and we were straight in at about £35,000 for this, Cosy. That is unbelievable.
37,000. At 37,500, 38, 38,500, at 39,000.
We're now at 46,500. This is just unbelievable. I'm sure you can get a pretty decent one of these for 60,000. I might be wrong. Please do correct me. I've not checked. Seems a lot of money. There's someone with his hand up there. Yep. New bidder in. As a reminder, this is a guide price of 18 to 24,000, and it's now at 47,000. It's rare to see an auction like this. This is unbelievable. There's quite an atmosphere in the room, I can tell you. I mean, I'm not sure how much this will cost to rebuild. Total respray, paint needed. There's a lot of work and a lot of money. Yeah, I'm not quite sure I understand this. There you go.
Last time I was up there, £50,250
Unbelievable. Huge round of applause after that auction. So this car totally burnt out, went for 54,000, sorry, with fees. Just staggering. It's really rare to see an auction like that. There was such an atmosphere, spontaneous applause from everyone after it. Yeah, what a moment to see that go for getting on for 3 times the guide price. Yeah, iconic car, but still incredible that. So this is possibly the car I want most at the auction. Quite an unusual choice for me. It's a Mark V Cortina, 1983, imported from South Africa, and it's been modified quite a lot. So it's been restored. It's got lots of modifications. It's on gas suspension. Main feature of it, I suppose, is the Essex 3-litre Essex V6 in there. Blue leather interior, etc. And I'm not entirely sure why I'm drawn to this car, because I'm not really into Cortinas or Fords from this era, actually. And I think partly it's because it's quirky, it's unusual, and I like that. It's been modified. I like modified cars. And probably also because the first family car I remember is a Mark V Cortina. Okay, so this is a shame. It looks good everywhere else, but the wheel well is rusty. Otherwise, it looks okay. Sills, I mean, this has had a lot of restoration work done, and it looks good other than that wheel well. I had a long chat with the owner of this car before the auction. I'm definitely bidding. He's such an enthusiast. Yeah, he's put a lot of love, time, effort and money into this car. I expect it'll go for more than I'm prepared to bid, but here we go. So I'm still in at the moment. Oh well, that was me having one last go, and I'm definitely out now. I still think this is good value even at this price, but it's just a little bit more than I'm prepared to pay, to be honest. But it's unique, you won't find another one like this. Yeah, I'm already having, I think, preemptive regret at not bidding more, but there we go. I set my limit and I'm sticking to it. So there we go, that's gone for 9,300 with fees, basically. Yeah, gutted I missed that one. So I'm going to start with this Chevrolet Corvette, C3 Corvette Stingray. I'm not a huge fan of American cars, but this is one I really make an exception for. Looks absolutely stunning in this Ontario orange. It's also a T-top Targa. Just looks absolutely magnificent. This has been upgraded actually to a 454 cubic inch, so 7.4 litre engine, big block engine, 365 horsepower and 455 pound-foot. So this must shift fairly well. Love the interior as well. The colour of that leather goes so well with the paintwork. What a cabin. These dials, etc., really low here. This was imported in 2015 and only 2 owners. This looks brilliant. It guided at 20 to 25 grand.
20,500. We're all done. 20,500. 11268.
So on to another car that I really like here. This is an Aston Martin DB7. Obviously this is a Vantage, 2001. With the V12, obviously these started life with just the inline 6 supercharged 6-cylinder engine. This actually wore the AML1 number plates. It must have been a press car. This looks excellent condition. Importantly, also manual gearbox. It's got sports exhaust. £80,000 worth of maintenance apparently. This Bordeaux leather interior, which is absolutely lovely. Yeah, this is really quite special. So although it said £80,000 worth of maintenance, I couldn't see that much in the file, so slightly confused about that. I'm just looking under here because these do have a floor pan issue which rusts away, and yeah, this is really wet. Very wet. Yeah, I can't see anything. I'm not going to investigate fully. That's enough to put me off. I would love this. I kind of had my eye on it. It's guided at 20 to 25,000. We'll see if it makes that. Seems a lot of money, but the V12 manual is a lovely option. So another one that I had my eye on, this 1976 Daimler 66 Coupe. So it's a Series 2. Fairly rare as a coupe. Look at this roof, lovely. It's in squadron blue, and a beautiful kind of light leather interior. Looks lovely. It was restored between 1991 and 2009, amazingly. And one of the reasons attracted me to this is the 5.3 litre V12, obviously famous Jaguar engine, 285 horsepower, but it has a 4-speed manual box from an XKR-S, and that's what really appealed to me. There's not a huge amount of paperwork with it though, despite that work that's been done. I think this will probably go for quite a lot of money. They're fashionable now to get these manual conversions, particularly with the likes of Harry Metcalf having a similar type of car with a manual conversion. You know, I expected this to be pristine. It's not. There's quite a lot of not brilliant paintwork, and also this, as you can see, bubbling paintwork, some rust coming through. So it's not quite as good as I expected. It's guided at 16 to 20,000 pounds. Yeah, it's not great here either. Probably doesn't come out in the light. But I expect it'll still fetch that. They're quite fashionable, these types of cars now. Here is that famous 5.3 V8. Always looks one of the most complicated engine bays, I always think. Still an engine I haven't owned and hope to own someday.
17,000.
So here is that Daimler 66.
17,000. Bit of thinking time for you. 17,000. Telephone
Quite a slow moving auction, I have to say.
We're all down the line of it. 17,000.
Looks like it'll make reserve
17,000, quite sure. Thank you anyway, then at 17,000. Fair one if you want at 17.
Audi RS6, so C5 generation, this is 2004. A car I might be interested in, kind of high risk because of the problems you get with these cars, with the gearbox and the DRC, the dynamic ride control. But this one looks excellent. I've looked at the history and it's top notch. Really, really well looked after. Owned for the last 10 years. Paintwork's got some swirls that could be polished out. Light leather interiors, rarer in Audis I think than some other cars, so it looks good for that, I think. It's got some wear, could tidy that up a bit. Yeah, possibly tempted. I think this is guided at 10 to 12,000, so it's a bit steep for me at that price. Famous COSWORTH developed V8 twin turbo 4.2, 450-ish horsepower. So here I am. I bought the Audi RS6, probably a stupid purchase. I'm just about to pick it up and hopefully drive home, so fingers crossed. Here we go. So I've just collected the RS6 from the auction. I'm on my way home now, and all good so far. Reasonably pleased with the purchase, but is this one of the highest risk cars that I've bought? Maybe. I always wanted one of these 20 years ago when they, pretty much when they came out. Nearly 450 horsepower just seemed crazy back then in a family estate. I prefer the estates. This is obviously a saloon. Twin turbo V8, what's not to like, basically.